Have you ever considered your own mortality? It's a topic many of us prefer to avoid, but the ancient philosophy of Stoicism teaches us that embracing our finite existence can actually be the key to living a more fulfilling life. In this video, we'll explore how coming to terms with death can paradoxically help us make the most of the time we have. Number 1, the brevity of life. Picture this. You're sitting in traffic, fuming at the endless line of cars ahead of you. Suddenly, your phone buzzes with an urgent message. A loved one has been rushed to the hospital. In that moment, the trivialities of your daily frustrations fade away, and you're acutely aware of how precious and fleeting life can be. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca once wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." When we're confronted with our own mortality, it's a wake-up call to stop sweating the small stuff and start living with intention. Number 2, memento mori. The Stoics had a phrase for this practice of contemplating death, memento mori, which translates to remember that you will die. It wasn't meant to induce fear, but rather to cultivate a profound appreciation for the present moment. To get into personal anecdote. When I first encountered this concept, I'll admit, I was a bit uncomfortable. The idea of regularly meditating on my own demise, that seemed a bit morbid. But then I remembered an experience from my own life. Number 3, focusing on what matters. When you truly internalize the fragility of life, it becomes easier to let go of the trivial concerns that so often consume us. The Stoics taught that we should focus our energy on the things within our control. Our thoughts, our actions, and character. Transition to next section. So how can we apply this Stoic wisdom to improve our lives? Let's explore 3 practical ways to embrace death and live more meaningful. 1. Prioritize relationships. Death has a way of putting things in perspective. When you consider the people you'd want by your side in your final moments, it becomes clear which relationships truly matter. Make time for the people you love, be present with them, and let go of petty grievance. As the Stoic Emperor Marcus Aurelius said, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it." 2. Pursue meaningful work. When you're acutely aware of your mortality, you start to question whether you're spending your finite time on this earth doing work that is truly fulfilling. What legacy do you want to leave behind? How can you contribute something of value to the world? The Stoics believed that finding purpose in our work was essential to living a good life. So take a step back and honestly assess whether your current path aligns with your deepest values and aspiration. 3. Live with moderation. The Stoics advocated for a life of simplicity and moderation. In a world obsessed with materialism and excess, they recognized that true happiness comes from within, not from acquiring more stuff. When you accept your mortality, the pursuit of status, wealth, and possessions starts to feel a bit hollow. Instead, focus on cultivating the virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These are the things that will serve you well, both in this life and the next. Embracing your mortality isn't about living in fear of death. It's about living with intention, purpose, and appreciation for the precious time you've been given. As the Stoic Epictetus once said, "It's not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live." So I challenge you. Take a moment each day to contemplate your mortality and use that awareness to inform the way you live. What's one small step you can take today to start living more fully? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe for more videos on ancient wisdom for modern life. Remember, we may not get to choose the length of our lives, but we can choose how we live them. Let's make every moment